What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. I finally checked out Zack Snyder's Justice League, the Snyder Cut. It actually came out last weekend. Last Thursday. And the reason why it took me so long to watch it was because the whole idea of watching a 4-hour movie, I won't say that it felt like a chore to me, but it felt like such a task. And when I watch movies, I really want to have the full experience, especially if it's a theatrical release. And since there's no theatrical release of Zack Snyder's Snyder Cut of Justice League, then I want to recreate that theatrical experience, and that is by having an uninterrupted viewing of this film. This film is 4 hours, okay? That's the longest movie I've ever seen, okay? I've done Hobbit marathons, like theatrical Hobbit marathons. So each film is like 3 hours, half-hour gap, 3 hour, half-hour gap, and 3 hours. That is the last time I'll ever do something like that. And that's in the theaters, okay? I'm at home. 4-hour film? Okay, I just finished watching it a couple of hours ago, and I'll tell you straight up that the mission to watch this uninterrupted was failed many times. Okay, I had to pause it because I had to get a drink, I had to get a snack, I had to pee, I had to poo. True story. I even dozed off. Because I was sitting there stationary. And I was really comfortable on my couch, and then I eventually dozed off, and then I rewound it a little bit. Well, there's no rewind. It's just I went backwards. Essentially, I watched the whole thing. Okay, it was a 5-hour ordeal. Okay, so from 12 o'clock all the way to 5 p.m. because in the middle or during it, I actually took those breaks to pee and poo and all that stuff and eat stuff. Anyways, so the big question on everybody's mind is Zack Snyder's vision for his own film better than what what Joss Whedon put out 4 years ago in 2017? Hell yes, it is. It is a lot better. It is so much better. And it actually works as a 4-hour film. Now, make no mistake about it. This is a long film. This is a freaking long film. In fact, I'm on a really weird spot. I'm in a conflicted spot right now because it's a long film. It feels long. You definitely feel the 4 hours. However, everything that I've watched in this film, all the content that they presented for us fans is necessary. Like, I'm glad that this is Zack Snyder's vision. I'm glad it's finally realized in this huge epic film. It's super long, but then I wouldn't cut anything out. You know what I'm saying? So I would have really liked to watch this in a theatrical release in the theaters, but at the same time, if it's a 4-hour movie, that's too long for me in the theaters. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad. Like I said, I'm conflicted. I would have loved to watch this in the theaters because, I'm pretty sure everybody who watched this film and really liked it is probably thinking the same thing, that this is a film that I truly believe would have been so much better as a theatrical release because everything about it, there's so many just like epic sequences, and it feels like a fundamentally different film than the previous one. It's so crazy because yes, it is better than the other one. They put in an additional 2-hour chunk of content in addition to what they already have. To top things off, Zack Snyder cut out so much stuff that Joss Whedon filmed, and he didn't even use that footage. So he actually cut stuff out and put in at least 2 hours of brand new content. There's probably 2.5 hours of brand new content in there. And it is great. It's a really great film. It has a lot of fan service in there, which I really don't mind. It has a lot of content that fans will really love, okay? But I think the one thing that really makes it so great is that not only is it Zack Snyder's vision, and not only is it consistent with the previous two films, and by that I mean Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. But it's got the right direction. It's tonally the same as the previous films. And I think that's what we needed. Because when I watched Justice League, to me, it was just entertainment. I didn't think anything of it. It was entertaining. It was fun. It had action in it. It was funny. But I came out of the theaters feeling a little bit empty. I felt like, okay, well, that's what they gave us. That's it. And it was pretty good. It's fun. I had a good time. I enjoyed it. And that was that. Right? But Zack Snyder's Justice League, this 4-hour cut, it has me talking about it. Like, I'm thinking about the scenes and how much they were way more impactful. And one of the great things about it, I think the great thing about it, is that it actually feels like a completely different film. That's what's so great about it. It's like, it was like the slogan for the special edition of Star Wars, and that is, watch it for the first time, watch it again for the first time. So basically, I'm watching this film again, but for the first time, because this is Zack Snyder's true vision. And okay, let me just jump right into what I really like about the film, and that is, first of all new content. Okay, all new content. Second, scenes play out differently. Isn't that weird? Like, you have the exact same scene, but they play out differently, and the delivery of it, the way it's presented to the audience, is just way more effective. It's the same scene. You know, it boggles my mind how I like this version so much more. Let's say, for example, the Wonder Woman introduction in the bank. It's not even a bank. It's like the terrorist scene. I think they were in London. And the way she rescues everybody, the way the scene is built up compared to the way Joss Whedon did it, where he just zipped right through the scene. This one has build up. This one has way more at stake here. This one actually makes you feel a sense of danger. I think Joss Whedon's version feels too much like it's just trying to be cool, right? And just get the scene over with. This one actually plays out so that the scene, that the whole sequence is entirely fleshed out, so it feels more weight to it. You know what I'm saying? And I just noticed the difference right away. And that goes for a lot of scenes, whether they play out differently or whether they play out the same. Zack Snyder's able to re-edit things and add more meat to it so that it feels more impactful. You know, it's such a weird concept. Like, I'm actually in a bit of awe how this film actually made me feel like, wow, that's actually a very different film. Like, I can't believe I saw a totally different film. It's the same film, but it's totally different. You know what I'm saying? So it's so interesting how they were able to pull that off. And they would play out, Zack Snyder would actually put out the same scene, but change the music. I didn't recognize I didn't recognize 90% of the musical tracks in this film, actually. And it made the scene play out better. It's like Zack Snyder picked out the right music for these scenes compared to Joss Whedon, who just tried to make it look cool. You know, I feel like when Joss Whedon was brought on board to finish up Justice League, I was excited because I loved Avengers 1, and, I found Avengers 2 enjoyable. Okay, it was not as good as Avengers 1, but still, I feel like, okay, you know, he brought the team together, the Avengers together, and he did such a great job with that. But one thing that really stuck out was that it's so funny and it was fun. It was such a fun movie. Now, bringing that flavor, that tone into the DC extended universe, where we start off with we start off with Man of Steel, then to the Batman vs Superman, which are very dark films, and then changing it up, to me, like I said before, it just felt it felt like it was just entertainment. It didn't feel consistent, but it is what it is, and I didn't really care too much about it. Like I said before, I came out of the theater feeling empty. On the other hand, this one feels like it's a true continuation of Zack Snyder's vision, with Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, followed up with Justice League, and between the three, I might even say that this one is the best one. I still really like Man of Steel though, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say that Zack Snyder's Justice League is the best film out of the three. I really like how everything played out. Um, um, Even the final battle. The final battle, in all honesty, in Joss Whedon's vision, was underwhelming. But I didn't complain too much because I still had a good time watching it. On the other hand, this one feels like it was, even from the beginning of the battle, like even before the battle to the end, it's totally different. It's like I'm watching the scenes like play out, and it feels like, okay, they're doing something totally different. They're doing something that the way they're attacking this problem, this climactic finale, they're doing it way differently than they did in the other film, in Joss Whedon's vision, and it just made it so much more exciting. It was more epic too. There's way more action. I mean, the movie's 4 hours. Of course, there's way more action. But I really didn't know it was going to be that much. They fundamentally changed the film for Zack Snyder's vision, and it changes the direction totally. I mean, after all, it's two different directors, right? But the directions totally change. It feels way more in line with the previous two movies. I really like the Easter eggs they threw in. I like the fan service they put in there. The nightmare sequences was really cool. Definitely something for the fans. What else is there? Like, they took out whole sequences from Joss Whedon's vision, such as the introduction of Batman on the rooftop, and then seeing the parademons for the first time. They cut that out entirely. What else was there? I was really surprised by the fact that they cut that whole scene out. What else was there? The explanation of the mother boxes. The explanation of the mother boxes was way more fleshed out in this one. Like, I had a better understanding of it. With a 2-hour running time for a film like Justice League and Joss Whedon's version, that like zipped by really fast. It felt like I said, it zipped by. It was just really like boom, 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 boom. We got to move on to the next scene. This one, I like it because I'm getting to understand all the different characters, especially Ray Fisher's Cyborg. There is so much meat in there. Before, we were given nothing. I know the whole backstory behind that, all the behind-the-scenes crap that Ray Fisher went through, but it really shows on this film how much stuff was really cut out. It feels like they really wanted to like, they gave him the shaft. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ray Fisher got shafted in the 2017 film. This one, he gets way more scenes. There's more weight to his character. There's more emotion. There's more depth to all the characters, as a matter of fact. Even the Amazon scene plays out differently. The scene with the flashback of the whole Atlantean, Amazonian, Green Lantern war against Darkseid plays out differently. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just really surprised that when I even heard about the Snyder cut. Okay, I really didn't think it was going to be that much different. I thought that it was just going to be like Batman versus Superman, where they just add like another 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But it was a full 2 hours, right? So I'm just so pleasantly surprised. So yeah, Ray Fisher's scenes were great as Cyborg. I'm glad they cut out certain scenes, like, for example, the scene with Batman and Wonder Woman having a private moment. I'm glad they cut that out. It just felt out of place, and it just felt like it ruined the pacing of the film. What else did they do differently? I mean, there's so much. I mean, it's a 4-hour film. The first meeting of the Justice League with Steppenwolf, that was, I don't want to keep on saying it played out differently, but it just feels like the fighting is different. You know what I'm saying? There actually is a lot of different scenes, and it actually has it where it plays out in a way where you're even more invested than I was before. And that's the same thing that goes for the final battle. You're way more invested because they actually they talk about in full detail about what exactly they need to do. And I love that it's so evident that they work together more. In this version of Justice League, you really see the team really coming together. I mean, they came together in the first one, but it just doesn't feel like it was enough. Like they didn't really work together as a unit. This one, you had that slow motion scene where you see them all together. Like, it's really, really cool. And to top things off, I loved it when Superman came back. Okay, I loved it when he came back. It was so epic, and I wish we saw more of him. The music, they brought back the Man of Steel score. You know, in the original one, they used Danny Elfman's, I think they brought back the original Superman score, right? And that was really, really cool. But something in this film made me actually miss Hans Zimmer's Man of Steel score. It was just so cool to hear that again. It was really nostalgic. I mean, Man of Steel came out in 2013, so 8 years ago, they're bringing that back. It just feels really, really cool. Anyways, I really liked it. I mean, there's so much for me to say, but I'd have to watch it again. I just can't remember everything, but I'll tell you that it was a positive experience. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, and that's all I gotta say. I really, really loved it. Go check it out. That's the Snyder Cut. My name's Alex. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.